Right, we threw this out to our followers on Facebook and Twitter to see what questions they could come up with for you. So I'm just going to fire away with them now. First one from Ian Morrison. He asks, will there be any Riggs and Murtaugh moments for Iron Man and Rhodey in Iron Man 3?
You know, Rhodey and Tony, if you look at the Favreau films, they have that kind of, you get a little taste of it in Iron Man 2 at the end, of what it would be like to give these two their, you know, let them run with that idea of a partner, buddy partner relationship. I think we let that happen also in Iron Man 3, because Don is such a great actor and he's so much fun that putting those two together, I don't really think of it as Riggs and Murtaugh moments, but I think of it as just letting those two have their head and giving them a chance to play, because this was a very playful set. And those are, Robert Downey, more than any actor I know, believes in the concept of play. So, you know, it's like a kid in your candy store and then we're a bull in the china, or a bull in the candy store even.
Cool. And Charlie Lewis asks what your thoughts are on the Avengers, and did the huge success of that film add any pressure to making this film?
Well, Charlie Lewis, I love the Avengers. I think it's a great film. No pressure, no, because you know what? Marvel, to their credit, said to me that although they love the Avengers and the success of it, and who wouldn't, that we don't want to just replicate it. They don't want to just stamp, let's do it again. It'd be very easy for them. But instead they said, no, because we're doing an Iron Man movie, standalone. We don't want to reference the Avengers too much, and let's make it about Tony Stark. So also Tony Stark's and the Iron Man films have always been more real world. And so it was a different kind of movie than the Avengers. I wasn't expected to replicate or in any way emulate the type of storytelling of the Avengers. We were free to do our own thing. So I like Marvel for that. I like the fact that their movies, they change it up. They don't try to make everything the same. Just because one thing made money doesn't mean the next thing will be like it.
Cool. And John Gates asks, given the fact that this is all linked in with phase 2 of the Avengers project, how much creativity were you given, and was there anything that you couldn't do because of the future of the series?
You know, it's funny, there wasn't anything we couldn't do, really. We had to ask a couple times. Like, there's one thing at the end of the movie involving Tony and the RT, but, and we said, well, should we worry about that? And they thought about it and they said, nope. So whatever they've got planned, we don't always know, but they'll tell us, they'll come to us if we cross a line, and they never did. They were really, really good about giving us some leeway to sort of invent things.
And did they ask you for any input on Avengers 2 or like a potential Iron Man?
No. Nobody asked me about Avengers 2. These are like in the vault. Who knows what's going to happen? But you know, I got hints. You know, and I can't tell anybody. But I think I know, but I can't tell you.
And is that the same for a potential Iron Man 4 as well? Is that?
I don't know anything about Iron Man 4 because that's a little too far in the future, right? Because they would have to do the Avengers first. They've got Captain America and Thor, so that's like 4 movies away. So that's beyond my ability to reckon. Even if I were a precog, I couldn't give you that.
Cool. And Kerry Norton asks, if you had to pick between Captain America, Thor, or the Hulk to direct instead of Iron Man, which would you have chosen?
Honestly, Thor. I really like what Ken Branagh did, and I love the story of Thor. I thought that was probably next to the first Iron Man, my favorite Marvel movie was Thor.
Cool. And Mel Cox asks, will there be a sequel to Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
Tell poor Noah that, yeah, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, although a lot of fun, just didn't really generate any box office in the U.S. I understand it did okay over here, but okay over here doesn't give the boost that's needed for someone to, I mean, maybe if, and also, come on, Robert Downey is getting $50 million bucks. I don't think that he's going to go back and do a small movie like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang right now.
Okay. And Clive Neal asks, if Fox were to do another Predator film and they ask you to direct, would you direct it?
Well, that's interesting. It would be very dependent on a couple things, but mostly what that script would be like. Because the truth is, you don't need to make another Predator film. I think there's more Iron Man stories to tell in the same way that comic books go on forever, but it would have to be a Predator story that needed to be told, and my question is, what would that be?
And someone called Mudsy has asked, if you were approached by the Star Wars team, would you get involved in a new Star Wars film?
You know, I don't think I'd go there because it's just, there's so much oversight. I mean, I'm guessing, but I can only imagine that that would be a process of having every idea vetted 7 ways from Sunday before you could get any kind of approval to proceed. You know, Marvel, it's been a lovely collaboration, but the Star Wars train is full of so much money that someone at my level, I'm not JJ, so maybe JJ will have an easier time of it. I think I'd probably have to go through a lot more hoops in order to get anything resembling something that, you know, is personal.